Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi le 13 décembre. Et voici notre agenda, our checklist pour la semaine. You have a new mot de passe, which you'll see in a minute. Les deux discussions. First one is today. Same video TPR from last week and the week before, but just continue practicing those. We have a new song of the week. You're going to be doing une traduction, a translation. This is the story about Gary Le Singe. So when he went to the different places trying to find a kangaroo. So the first paragraph of that story is essentially just a repeat of last week where we kind of did a special person with Gary Le Singe. So this time you only need to translate paragraph 2 et paragraph 3. If you don't see this, hear this, if you don't realize it, and you end up doing paragraph 1 as well, it's not a waste of your time. It's always good to practice, but just be aware it is not required this week. There is no meet this week because of NWEA testing, which messes with my schedule a bit. So everybody will have to do a Flipgrid. We will have une personne spéciale with a write and discuss, a quiz on that, a quick write, our weekly check-in, and Muzzy. Alors, le nouveau mot de passe, c'est je m'en moque. Je m'en moque. In the graphic here, je m'en moque de ton avis, ce n'est pas toi qui vis ma vie. It's kind of a nice little quote. I don't care about your opinion. You're not the one who's living my life. So, je m'en moque. Je m'en moque. Go ahead and copy it into your cahier. Et aujourd'hui, c'est lundi le 13 décembre, c'est l'anniversaire de Henri IV. Il est né en 1553 à Pau. Pau est dans le sud-ouest, the southwest of France, in les Pyrénées, the Pyrenees Mountains. C'était le... Oh non, pardon. Il a été roi de France de 1589 jusqu'à 1610. So those were the years he reigned. En 1610, il a été assassiné. So he died by being assassinated. Le premier roi Bourbon. So if you've ever heard of Louis XIV, Louis XVI, those are the biggies in that family that you usually hear about most often. That's the bloodline of the Bourbon. And he was the very first, le premier roi, the very first king from the Bourbon family, Bourbon. Il était protestant pendant la majorité de sa vie. Most of his life Protestant. Il s'est converti au catholicisme quand il est devenu roi pour mettre fin aux longues guerres de religion en France. Devenu, we've seen this before, became. Il est devenu. When he became king, il s'est converti au catholicisme. He converted to Catholicism. That's what this painting is of, that ceremony. Pour mettre fin aux longues guerres de religion en France. So there had been a lot of religious wars in France, long ones, that lasted decades and in some cases even an entire century. So mettre fin, to put an end to them, he converted to Catholicism, which kind of helped to bring the country together. Okay, les questions. Henri avait quel âge quand il est devenu roi? Il est né en 1553, il est devenu roi en 1589. Il avait quel âge? Et comment est-ce qu'Henri IV est mort? Comment est-ce qu'Henri IV est mort? Okay. Traduction aujourd'hui, Gary Le Singe. Like I said earlier, you only need to do paragraph 2 et 3. If you did not get this write and discuss copied down last week, you are welcome to do so now. It is in your class stories, les histoires, link at the very top of your Schoology page. For weekend talk, you won't really do anything with this until mercredi for the Flipgrid, but take a look at this link, same Jamboard as last week, and you're going to be deciding on one item that you did do this week. Qu'est-ce que tu as fait ce weekend, or this weekend rather, and one that you did not do. Qu'est-ce que tu n'as pas fait ce weekend? So watch for my my example on Flipgrid of how to answer these questions, but also keep in mind that it might be a good idea to look at that Jamboard now when your weekend is still fresh in your memory, even though you won't really need to use it until mercredi. Don't need to put a text box with your name. The Jamboard this week and last week were already pretty full of stuff, so no need to add anything to that. Okay, la chanson de la semaine. La chanson de la semaine. This is one that hopefully you'll enjoy because it's a parody about kind of how the stuff that you learn sometimes in French class is academic in nature, whereas if you're trying to, as these guys are, flirt with a girl, it's not necessarily very helpful what they learned in French class. So anyway, I hope you'll enjoy it. You will understand it much more easily, I think, than what we have done previously, like last week's song, for example. So just listen to it, try to understand it, enjoy, and I hope you'll find it pretty funny. Okay, c'est tout. That is it pour aujourd'hui. Au revoir tout le monde.